well out there. Hope you're doing well and swell. Hope you're not scared, shitless, right? Hope you're secure in your contents, persons, papers, articles, everything. Fourth Amendment. I hope your Fourth Amendment is well protected. If not, you need to hire, well, a good civil rights attorney or just go pro se, right? Go pro se, you'll learn something, you'll have some fun, and you won't spend nearly as much money. You won't spend nearly as much money. So, definitely fight back is what I'm saying. Definitely want to fight back any chance you get. But as the title says, I am the voice of Wayne, Michigan. Sadly, unfortunately, I mean, it's as we've seen time and time again, right? You can't balance a budget. You have 6 square miles. You can't balance a budget. You over-regulated, over-government, and it's a shit show, disaster. Everybody knows it. And I mean, COVID-19 really did a number. Really did a number on us, and it really shows. It really shows. So, but I mean, obviously these issues, especially with the Wayne Police Department, and sadly the fire department as well, right? The Wayne Police Department, which has been around, for a long time. I've heard from lifelong residents time and time again that the city of Wayne is the police department that is violated people's civil rights, constitutional rights for decades and decades. So not shocking at all. Very, very, very unsurprising that the same things continuing today. Where, our constitutional rights in Wayne, Michigan are optional. They are not mandatory. They're optional, merely optional. And that's got to change. And who knows what will happen. I mean, I doubt really, like I said, I think these institutions, right, are so morally bankrupt and so broken and flawed that, you really got to have an entire wave, right? You got to basically flood the earth is what I'm saying, to fix some of the shit. It's pretty helpless. I mean, really. And what I've learned living in Wayne, but living in general, is that, people are going through life bullshitting, right? Most people are, and everyone's just kind of faking it until they make it, and nobody really knows what they're doing, right? People have to play an act, they have to play a role, but when push comes to shove, I mean, as we've seen, right? I mean, nobody in Wayne, Michigan knows what the Fourth Amendment is, which is statistically impossible. You guys realize, right? So either they are statistically impossible and they all just, conveniently, miraculously, none of them knew what the Fourth Amendment was, didn't have the slightest clue what it was, didn't know what a warrant or exigent circumstances or probable cause was, didn't know the difference between a policy and an ordinance, right? So, I mean, I suppose, there's a statistical odd, right? I mean, of some kind, 1 in a billion, right? That all these people just miraculously never heard of the Fourth Amendment. Never heard of it, wasn't trained in it, just touched straight over it, right? It's forbidden, taboo. But we got to figure out through discovery what's going on in Wayne, Michigan, right? We got to figure out what's going on exactly, right? Because that's all we really care about. We don't really care about anything else. We just really we want to know. We have questions. We want answers, right? And we have a right to be that way, right? And like I said, they want to deny FOIAs, right? Publicly available information. I mean, public records. They want to ask for $400,000 or $500,000, and okay. I mean, you guys, that is your inclination, I suppose, but I'm just gonna file a lawsuit. Every FOIA will be its own lawsuit. You know, it's nothing frivolous, of course, but yeah, I mean, if we have reason to want, right? We don't even need a reason technically, but I mean, I have very valid reasons to want the information that I'm asking for, and it's because, you know, I can take all of that data, right? I can take all of the data. You know, more data the better. The more information the better. I can take it all and I can extract it and I can compile it, right? And I can have it analyzed, right? I can analyze it myself, and, you know, basically I can start detecting patterns, right? Or I can start, maybe, you know, it's kind of like solving a puzzle. And City of Wayne has a clear conflict of interest, right? They don't want me to get access to pertinent information, particularly the information in the discovery preservation order, right? They don't want me to get that information for obvious reasons, because it wouldn't be good for them. It wouldn't be good for them. But it's all good, you know, just like it wouldn't be good for me to get on city council. But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of bootlickers and cucks and degenerates and all that. So, you know, I don't know what's going to happen. I really couldn't care less. But I am gonna make it my life's mission to be, you know, shoving that liberty boner up the ass of tyrants every single day. So always, right? Because the power imbalance, right? The power imbalance that we have witnessed, right? Not just in Wayne, Michigan, obviously, all throughout the country, right? All throughout the world. You know, gotta start somewhere, guys. And I know it's just a speck in the grand scheme of things, but it's a catalyst, right? Catalyst that, you know, can invoke real change, right? Real change in the sense that, you know, I'm just sticking up for one man, right? I'm just sticking up for John Zook Jr., but I'm really sticking up for everybody. And I'm sticking up for people that, you know, don't have the circumstances to have a voice, right? Because there's a lot of people that would love to have a voice, but, you know, when you're the low man on the totem pole, right, and, you know, there's consequences for exercising your rights, right? There's consequences, and people know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that it comes at a price, a very steep price, and so, you know, a lot of people, just like Killer Dex over here, we got to add to our complaint, supplement it, because we have more exhibits, and we find more and more exhibits of constitutional rights violations on a day-to-day basis in the city of Wayne, Michigan, right? Where, you know, they'll sit there and say, oh yeah, you can't have a plastic sign, but the whole city has plastic signs, right? And you can show countless examples in real time, live, right? You can go live stream it. But nope, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, you know, I think we've done something here, and hopefully it's enough. You know, to at least beg the question, right? At least get the discovery. You know, that's that. I mean, that at the very least, right? I mean, why is the city of Wayne so worried about discovery? You know, why are they so worried about discovery? Why is it such a big deal to get discovery? You know, I mean, internal communications. Why? You guys don't want me to know what you guys are saying about me? Oh, because then I can use that for my advantage, right? Well, that's public record. All of this is public record. If you work for the public, right? If you work for the public, that's the price you pay. And so, yeah, I find the whole thing to be rather alarming, to say the least. Alarming, to say the fucking least. And, you know, you can talk about me in words all you want, right? You can say, oh, he said this, he said that, whatever. But every charge dismissed, every charge disposed, right? Plus, I mean, you know, the civil rights litigation that I'm going to follow, I mean, that I'm going to follow up with, right? because I'm not just, you know, I'm not just throwing a jab. I'm throwing a straight behind it. The straight's coming. Right. So I threw the jab out there. I connected, and I stunned him. Right. But I'm not done. I'm following it up with the straight right down the pipe. Good fucking night. And then we're gonna hit him with the ground and pound. Right. Hit him with the ground and pound, and yeah. Have some fun with it. Have some fucking fun with it. So let's have a little fun. Let's have a little party and get together, drink some Bacardi, and, you know, live it up, right? Well, I'm gonna live it up. I'm just not gonna live it up on taxpayer expense like these bums are, right? These bums that work for the city of Wayne. Work. Let me hang on. Let me back up. Work, right? Because I know there's so much work to do here, right? Well, there is real work to be done, but you know that's not being addressed. So you know, work, right? So yeah. I see. You know, scratch off lottery tickets in the Ford Escape with the illegal signs in the back, right? All the signs that are all over the Hype Center, right? All in front of it. I think there's at least 6, right? There's 3 on that corner, 3 in front of the Hype Center, and then there's, you know, a few more scattered throughout the property, right? So at least, I don't know, 6 to 10, we'll say, you know, maybe upwards of 12, right? And then the school behind it, Benjamin Franklin, I think it is, you know, there's more signs, right? So you're like, oh, okay, so those categories don't appear to be in the exempt category, right? Those signs don't appear to be in the exempt category, but more importantly than that is these signs are, you know, plastic, right? So the same material, proven, right? The same material, which of course, you know, we'll go by later today, you know, once we get these trees in the ground. I want to get these in the ground before nighttime, and then, you know, we'll go drive by and we'll record the inside of the car. Right, we'll record it and we'll hang out and we'll have a little party, maybe even have an open burn. Who knows? No, we ain't gonna do that. No. They're setting. The police are sitting there, right, going like this. Oh God. Oh, he said open burn. Oh, you know, they probably fucking busted. Knowing these sick fucks. But yeah, they are some sick motherfuckers, bro. They really are. Because, you know, again, this shit isn't complicated. The Constitution isn't overly complicated. Civil rights aren't overly complicated. Not these particular issues, right? Signs and parking, you know, accommodation, right, for disabilities, and, you know, these things are not that, how do I say, complicated. They're just not. I mean, it's, you know, you have dirt roads in Wayne, Michigan. You have more than one. You have several, right? 3rd and 4th Street, and then all of Whitney Knoll subdivision. And you're like, okay, so you can park on those roads all day long, 365, whenever you want. And you can park, you know, on the road and in the grass, right? Half the properties, right? Or some of them. And then you can have grass driveways, and you can park in the grass and dirt and whatever else. That whole road is like basically a violation. 3rd and 4th Street. And then Whitney Knoll, I mean, they park on Whitney Knoll subdivision, which again, I don't give a shit. I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. I don't give a shit that people park wherever the fuck you want, right? If you got permission and it's not causing a safety hazard or whatever, a legitimate hazard, right? Not a made up, fabricated hazard, but an actual concrete, bona fide fucking hazard. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's just, the whole thing's just, it's kind of sus, right? A little sus. And yeah, there's another pool right there. I gotta back the fuck up, guys. I mean, I find the violations, right? I just go driving around for one pass through, right? And I can show you this pool, right? That's got to have a fucking permit right there. Well, that might be a hot tub, actually. Excuse me. But I don't know. I mean, is a hot tub considered a pool? Probably is. I mean, we're at the corner of Hillcrest Drive and Laurenwood Drive. So, you know, they have a hot tub. So I don't know if, I mean, that, I in my mind, with, you know, how retarded the city of Wayne is, yeah, I would think that their ordinance would, you know, would require a fucking permit and all those other, you know, safety features. Because, you know, it's a couple feet. You could fall into the motherfucker, I guess, right? They're idiots, man. It's like I said, the whole thing is retarded, right? The fact that a permit for what? Oh, because you bought a pool at Walmart, so you got to give us money. It's oh fuck. You know, it's just what do you even say to that? You know, that garbage, right? I mean, what do you even say to that shit? So I can't even process it mentally because I don't think and act and you know I don't think that way, right? Like I don't think in those terms of like, oh yeah, well, you know, how could I extract money out of working class people? Like I don't have that sort of you know, I don't have that sort of thing in my brain, right? I don't have it, right? I don't have it, and I've never had it, and I don't know. I just like let people do what they want, right? Let people enjoy their property how they want, and, you know, I mean that's just I don't know, common sense, right? Most people, most reasonable people find that to be just kind of like, you know, normal, right? I mean we all just kind of like, you have your property, I have mine. You don't step on my toes, I don't step on yours. You stay on your side of the fence. We're all good, right? We're all good. We're all happy, and we're all happy-go-lucky. And you know, it's not particularly, complicated, right? Just like the sign, right? The sign issue, right? The same thing, right? Like, if you can park on a dirt road in public, then parking on stone and your private property, you know, it just seems kind of, you know, common sense, right? Like, okay, well, if you're going to allow that, then you got to allow this, right? You can't pick and choose and be selective and capricious and arbitrary, right? But it's what they do. It's what they do, guys. Because what else would they do, right? What else would they do if they didn't do that, right? So unfortunately, as we've seen, right, time and time again in the city of Wayne, right, this retaliatory, malicious, vindictive, you know, workplace, right, which is basically this culture of retaliation against political dissent, right? So people that speak out or, you know, have dissenting opinions, right, or maybe they do things a little unorthodox or, you know, not approved by the status quo, right, the powers that be, right? And so, of course, that's, you know, too fucking bad, right, for you. But you know, they just don't seem to, you know, understand that, or don't want to understand it, or don't believe in it, whatever. You know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, the bottom line is their actions show quite clearly what they're all about. And so, you know, unfortunately we have to pass ordinances, right? I guess we don't. I mean, just get rid of the shit, be done with it, and you know, everyone's happy. And it's like, hey, you wake up and you're like, oh, nothing's changed other than you don't have a bunch of, you don't have the possibility, you see. So basically what this boils down to is you don't have the possibility of getting, like, you know, some asshole, right, who wants to be malicious, right, or wants to get back at you, wants to retaliate, wants to respond to you, right? You don't have to have that person, you know, potentially weaponize some ordinance, right? You know, because like I understand that, like, most city councilmen historically, right, probably in Wayne, people on the council in Wayne, most of them, I would say, a lot of these ordinances, right, they were written a long time ago. And I'm sure, you know, that was back when Wayne was white and, you know, Wayne was, you know, nicer than what it is now, right? I mean, not to say, like, you know, Wayne's fucked, but, you know, if we're just going to keep it real, right? I mean, people are clearly frustrated and fed up with the bullshit, right? I mean, clearly they're not too pleased with what they see. And, you know, I mean, I hear it all the fucking time. I mean, I literally, outside of a bootlicker or just some, you know, Wayne cuck or something, right? Like, there's a few of them, right? I mean, but, like, outside of, like, the department heads, department cucks, rather, excuse me, because that's a more accurate term. Because they all just cuck up to the status quo, right? Whatever the status quo wants, whatever the, you know, It's what they get. Whatever the council and the department heads want, that's what happens, right? That's how things go in Wayne, and you better know your place. And if you don't, well, then you're gonna pay a price, right? If you think you're gonna politically dissent and you're gonna embarrass, right? You're gonna embarrass these fucking gods, right? These idiots, right? God, if you have anything to say at all that might be critical of these idiots, well, you're gonna pay a steep price for that. A very, very fucking steep price for that. And so I paid the price. I didn't pay the ultimate price like John Zook Jr. did, but I did pay the price, as close to a persecution as you can get, right? I mean, that it was sloppy. Of course, it was fucking real sloppy, and I like it sloppy, but not this sloppy, right? But this, yeah, it was a sloppy fucking case. It was a sloppy prosecution. It was sloppy evidence. The whole thing, right? But I mean, it was a year of hell, and motherfucker, I'm still standing here, and I'm ready to go on the offensive here, right? I'm ready to go on the attack. So going on the attack, right? Yeah. Go fuck yourself, Caldwell, you piece of shit. You cuck bitch. Go fuck yourself. You micro-dicked cuck bitch. You fucking worthless scumbag, parasitic nigger fuck. That's what you are. A redheaded nigger fuck. Fake nice guy, right? You think, oh, he's a nice guy. No, he's a bitch. He's a bitch boy. Like I said, there was a comment that I read. Oh, he wouldn't say that outside of uniform. I'm like, dude, I've said this to their faces multiple times in person, multiple times. If you think you're a badass, you think you're a tough guy, you want to lay your fucking hands on somebody, punk bitch ass cops, well then go sign the contract and let's go fight at the Hype Center. Legalized sanctioned event, guys. Perfectly legal. That's how you settle your differences in 2026. You sign a waiver, you sign a liability waiver, and you sign a contract, and then you step in the ring. That's what happens, right? And then it's legal, it's clean, it's sanctioned, and you're able to settle your differences, right? And people can get entertained as well, right? It's a win-win for everybody, right? But of course, the city of Wayne, they're a bunch of punk bitches, and the fire department as well, right? I've challenged literally all of them, right? Multiple times, because they broke into my property, right? They wanted a good time, so I figured, well, let me give you a good time. You want to break into my shit, right? And think that you have dominion over my land. Well, okay, let's square up, right? Like, sign the fucking contract. I'll give you 12 weeks to train. I'll give you 16 weeks. I'll give you a half a year. How long do you need? Right? You want to do 2 in one night, 3 in one night? I mean, how do you want to do this? Pride style, right? How they used to do it in Pride? I mean, fuck. I'm not, like I said, there's nothing about these people that are scary. The only thing scary is their ego, right? That's the only thing that scares me, to be truthful with you, right? Is their fucking egos are just, it's like they've never been told no. They've never been told get fucked. They've never been told no thanks, right? It's like a rapist, right? That's how, like, when they were breaking into my house, I was like I was being raped, right? I was being raped all over again. I was being raped by these fucking people, right? Just raping my land, raping my rights, just straight to the back, pretextual, right? Like, it was just, the whole thing was pretextual. They admitted to it. They're fucking idiots. Right? I mean, all the evidence is just like, boom, it's all right there. It's all right fucking there, right? Just some nosy ass fucking cops who want to just piss me off, right? You want to show me who's boss, right? Yeah. Dumbasses don't even have a fucking ordinance, right? And then they tell on themselves, right? They, criminal judge threw all that shit out. It's like, yeah, we're done with this. Done with this. No, call them out on the record. Set them straight. Yep, these motherfucking idiots. Because that's what they are. They're a bunch of idiots. They're all idiots. Bosnick, and as well as the entire city of Wayne, they're all a bunch of fucking idiots, right? How much of an idiot do you have to be to pass a fucking ordinance, right? You got away with malicious prosecution, right, on the books, right? You didn't really get away with shit, but you got your quote unquote win, right? You really didn't, but you got your little participation trophy, right? And then you go and tell on yourself, right? Pass it the day after Christmas, right? Like, you can't make this shit up, right? You talk about some demonic shit, right? You're celebrating Christmas, right? Jesus, you know, the celebration of Jesus. And then the next day you're trying to pass that garbage, right? I mean, it's just, well, not trying to, you did. And it's just wild shit, right? Bosnick and Fire Chief Jeremy Schneider, wild shit, right, guys? Some wild fucking shit is what it is. I must say, I'm just bewildered, fucking bewildered by the idiocy of the whole thing. I'm just bewildered by it, like completely and totally and utterly. It is just an absolute fucking shit show, right? It's just an absolute fucking shit show. It's just an absolute travesty, an injustice, right? An injustice on steroids, right? And I've released everything, right? I've released everything publicly. It's going to get circulated, and it is what the fuck it is. It is what the fuck it is, guys. I mean, like I said, I unfortunately, you know, just by moving here, I gotta fucking be, I gotta be a fucking, you know, pariah. So hey, you know, it is what it is, right? It's what God chose for me. So I feel chosen. I feel blessed, and it is what the fuck it is. It is what the fuck it is. Can't, you know, it's not my fault I was maliciously prosecuted and vindictively prosecuted and selectively prosecuted, right? So what the fuck can I do? What the fuck can I do? There ain't nothing I can do. Besides keep fighting good fight and tell the bums to go suck a 8-inch dick to the balls, which would be mine, to the nut sack, right? Send your girlfriend, send your wifey, right? Send anyone over the age of 18, right? Anyone over the age of 18. Send them out to my way. Any family member over the age of 18 that's hot, right? That can legally give consent, right? Then yeah, send them out my way, right? Because I'd never mind. Just kidding, right? Of course, can't kid around, can't joke, can't say shit you want to say. You can't be hyperbolic. Definitely can't do that, right? Because you'll get accused of being on drugs or being crazy. And it's like, no, I just see you for what you guys are, pieces of shit. So cheers to that. And then they'll say, oh, well, it takes one to know one. Well, maybe it does. Maybe I am a piece of shit, possibly. Certainly not perfect, but you guys are even more pieces of shit, right? Which is just insane, right? Because, you know, I've been wounded by life. I have, you know, reasons to be bitter and cold, right? And honestly, I'm really not. You know, outside of just having to deal with this nigga bullshit, right? Because that's what it is, nigga bullshit. Let's not kid ourselves here. This is 100% nigga bullshit. This is called DEI nigga bullshit, right? This has DEI written all over it, right? The whole case, right? Carolyn Miller, that's DEI, right? Carrie Miller, that's DEI. Kmart Miller, the 2-for-1 special with Bosnick, yeah, those two right there are DEI, and which stands for didn't earn it, right? Didn't earn it. And so that's what happens when you hire DEI, right? When you hire DEI and, you know, you have a DEI chief of police, right? So oh, he's the chief, right? Chief of police. And it's like, that's, in Wayne, Michigan, that's not even a real thing. It is, but it ain't, if you catch my drift. On paper, it's a real thing, right? And consequentially, unfortunately, it's a real thing, right? But it's a joke. Let me just put it that way. No, the whole thing, guys. Take my word for it. Police, fire, city manager, city council, DPW, right? Department, you know, that might be the only one worth saving, if I'm being frank with you. DDA, right? My question would be like, what downtown, right? Downtown Development Authority, and I'm like, well, what downtown? I must have missed it, right? Let me drive back through Michigan Ave. I must have missed the downtown, but yeah, that's a fucking joke too. I mean, that's, I mean, you're talking like, if you look at the budget collectively for all these joke, made up, fake, bullshit positions, I mean, your budget's right there, guys. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, let's just do the math here, right? Let's just circle, okay, how much does having a full-time fire department cost us? How much does having a full-time city manager cost us, right? Paying $200,000 a year, well, $197,000, right? How much does it cost us to have a police department that couldn't detect a fart, let alone a crime, right? I mean, what are we doing here, guys? Like, when are we gonna put down the meth pipe? When are we gonna get serious here? That's the question. That's the $1,000,000 fucking question. Is when are we gonna get serious here? And when are we gonna get down to brass tacks? And when are we gonna be like, hey, look, this clearly, unequivocally, is just not working for anybody other than, of course, the powers that be, right? The status quo, the department heads. It's working just fine for them, right? Because they're getting their nice big salary, and they'll tell you they're underpaid and overworked, and of course they are, always, right? Always, right? They work like 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Take 2-hour lunches, drive around, and right. I'm going to show you again today, right? I showed you guys yesterday, right? The scratch offs, right? All the scratch off lottery tickets, right? So all the scratch off lottery tickets and the illegal signs in the back seat, right? I don't know. I mean, you're paying for that, guys. You're paying for all that garbage. What are you getting for your money? What exactly are you getting for your money? Haven't seen it. Must have missed it. Oh, you're getting priority waste to pick up your trash 12 hours late? Oh, that's what you're getting? I mean, okay. Not worth it. Not worth it. Mm-mm. Nope. Not worth it. No bueno. No fucking bueno. But yeah, I mean, what else would you expect out of that's funny. What a joke. What a joke this whole place is, though. I mean, if I gotta keep it a buck with you, man. What a joke. Just in general, man. I mean, imagine like all the money that's been spent on these worthless parasites and these worthless fake jobs. I mean, just think of the sheer amount of money, right? And then people are like, why don't we have nice things? And it's like, well, because people are too worried about words. They're worried about words and presentation, and they're not worried about substance. They're not worried about merit. That's ultimately why, right? Just nobody gives enough of, they give a fuck about the wrong things way too much. And again, they can't see the forest for the trees. But that's okay, right? Because at the end of the day, I can say that I didn't sell out, right? And sometimes you got to act obscene, right? Sometimes you're not obscene, but absurd. You got to act absurd to illustrate absurdity sometimes, and I mean, it's just like, it's a mentality, right? Like a street nigga mentality, right? That's what it is, right? You can have a street nigga mentality, or you can say fuck a gay nigga, right? Like, if you're gonna act like a gay nigga, then as a private citizen, right? I'm gonna call you a gay nigga. That's what I'm gonna call you, and I'm gonna tell you that to your face. And that's what makes people so upset, right? Is the fact that you're just like, yeah, that's what you are. Like, do I need to repeat myself? Do I need to say it slower? Right? It is what the fuck it is. So, you're allowed to speak freely. You're allowed to express yourself how you want within the confines of the law, right? The confines of the Constitution, more accurately. Well, who knows? Who fucking knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I know one thing. I didn't back down from nobody. Not once did I back down from any of these punk ass bitches. right? All those punk ass bitches in the Wayne Police Department and the fire department, for that matter. I have not backed down to these bitches, not a once. Right? I let them display for the record how vindictive and malicious they are, of course. Right? The record speaks for itself. So that I did, right? You know, take a plea, right? Whatever. Take a plea with no discovery, right? No, you know, we failed to give you any exculpatory evidence. We fail you to give you any of that, but just take a plea, though, right? Soliciting a plea, right? We have proof of that. Right? Have proof of that. I told you guys. I tried to tell you. I wasn't the one. North Flint. Born and raised. Montucky, Michigan, baby. Montcalm County. Georgia Military College, my nigga. Georgia Military College. That's where we get down at, boys. It's where we get down at. Anonymous, what up, my nigga? Raccoon. It looked like you got a raccoon in your profile pic there. How's it going, my nigga? My Negro. Would you guys rather see a tree grow or a Negro? Well, with a bald cypress tree, you can do both. With a bald cypress tree, you can see a tree grow and a Negro, because they grow knees. True story. And I have 3 of them more to plant here, and I gotta get going, guys, pretty soon. I gotta get going and get these trees planted, man. Zook Ponds are coming real soon. Just talked to Schlick Ponds. Still waiting on Eagle. To send over a confirmation. That's all we're fucking waiting on, guys. It's almost there. Almost fucking there. Been a long time coming. Joe W, my nigga. Joe W. My nigga. What up, my nigga? Mr. Joe W. Big Dick Joe W. Word on the street. True story. Just ask your mama. She'll tell you all about it. How you doing, my friend? How you doing, buddy? I'm just sitting here smoking some CBD, aka dope, right? Because people love to say it's medicine, not dope. And I say, nah, nigga, it's definitely dope, no doubt. It's dope. No, it's medicine. They say, why do you smoke dope? I say, because, nigga, there ain't no hope. There ain't no motherfucking hope, nigga. That's why I be smoking that dope. No, I'm just, it's just a habit. Like, people have habits, right? Some people jerk off 12 times a day. Some people maliciously prosecute some people, right? Some people maliciously prosecute people. Some people beat up, punch people in the face with handcuffs, used as brass knuckles from behind, right? Some people do that. That's their kink, right? Attacking innocent people, right? Attacking people that pose no actual threat to you, right? So, clinching your, like your phone and a cane, right? That's not a threat, right? Like trying to not get molested. That's not a threat, right? Like no one's posing a risk to you, right? Yeah, of course. So that's just how it goes, right? I mean, you can call it what you want to call it, right? Pig or nussy, you can call it a pig or nussy. That's what I'm gonna start calling the city of Wayne, pig or nussy, right? That's what they are, pig or nussies, right? That's what they are, pig or nussies. Yeah. So comedian, right? That's what I am, a comedian. Commentary, right? Talk show host, right? Talk show host, comedian, commentary, influencer. Ooh, right? So it's a new world out there, right? It's a new world, and Pig or Nussy's got to get back to their jerk off session, right? Ooh, right here, newsflash: gas in Cuba, $40 a gallon. There you go. That's good, right? That's how that socialism, right? Tell them about that socialism, right? That Democrat, that leftism, that parasitism. How's that working out for you? How is that Democrat socialist garbage working out for you? How is it working out for you, Cuba? Yeah, that's coming to America. Watch. That's coming to America. America's cooked, dude. I hate to say it, but yeah, America's kind of cooked. Kind of cooked. Yes, indeed. $40 a G, right? We're talking the shit, dude. That's $40 a G. We ain't talking cocaine either, guys. We're talking gasoline. $40 a G. That's some cray cray. But is what it is, right? I mean, what the fuck you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Nothing. Nothing you can do, really. Only thing you can do is not be a little bitch, right? That's that's the first thing, right? If you are a little bitch, we'll stop. That's not something we need more of in this world, right? We need less little bitches and not more. We need more good cops, right? Good cops, right? Which again, show me one. I want to see one. Tillmadge, right? Yeah, he's all right, but does he know the law? Does he know the Constitution? No, none of them do because they're not trained in it. They're not fucking trained in the Constitution. They're not trained on the First and Fourth Amendment, right? God, man, I'd hate to see how they would act with a Second Amendment issue. Yeah, you'd be dead. And that's ultimately what they want, right? I mean, let's just be honest here. It's clearly what they want. It's always been what they want, right? That's the handling of John Zook Jr. told us everything we needed to know. Everything we needed to know about that. So, pretty fucked up, pretty sick shit. I gotta say. I gotta say, pretty gay. Homophobic. Like I heard that. I haven't heard that term in days. Homophobic. I'm like, dude. Like the only people that care about being gay are gay people. Um, I just, like I said, it's just like I said, it's just kind of like one of those easy, low hanging fruit pejorative insults, right? Like you just kind of like, oh, you're racist, you're homophobe, you're sexist, and it's just like, this shit's so tiresome. It's not an argument, obviously. It's not even an argument, and just pejorative bullshit. That's all it is. just pejorative bullshit. Different standards, right? Public employees, public officials held to a higher standard, right? It's supposed to be, right? That's you got policies to follow, procedures, protocols, practices, procedures, right? You got all that shit to follow, right? I don't got to follow none of that. I'm a private citizen, right? So I can say, suck my dick to the balls, to the nut sack. And if you can't get the balls in there too, go right the fuck ahead. You're a bad motherfucker if you can do that. You're a bad motherfucker. You can get the balls too. Good shit. 2 thumbs up for me. Rules for thee, but not for me. He. Yeah, real funny. Real funny. Well, this is the consequences of malicious prosecution, right? It turns people, makes them crazy, right? Call me crazy. Well, why is that the case? Well, maybe the malicious prosecution's got a little something to do with it, huh? Maybe. New facts came to light. And judge isn't too thrilled about it. Not too thrilled about it, so I'm gonna get everything. Yeah, I gotta work on some of my complaints and motions and fuck, guys. I'll be honest, it's so much that you gotta take breaks, man. It's just mentally fucking exhausting. Mentally, it's just, I got a big ass head, thank God, right? But it's fucking. But it's all right. It's what we got to walk through. It's like walking on glass sometimes. But if they didn't have qualified immunity, that changes things. Well, on the Fourth Amendment, no, because no reasonable officer wouldn't know what the Fourth Amendment is, right? Like reasonable officers know that without a warrant, and without a warrant, it's presumed to be an illegal search, right? Without a warrant, it's presumed to be unconstitutional by default. Presumed, right? So in other words, the burden of proof shifts to the defendant to prove, well, we had probable cause and consent, or we had probable cause and exigent circumstances, right? So unless they can prove that and it's a warrantless search, then it's unconstitutional, point blank. And it's not, I don't know how they could have qualified immunity, right? We had this policy and our policy said we could, and it's like, well, okay, but the Fourth Amendment exists, right? Yeah, well, you do understand it's like one sentence, right? Yeah. That one sentence is this, yeah. And yeah, it's pretty basic shit here, It's pretty fucking basic shit here. Pretty fucking basic shit. A reasonable officer knows about the Fourth Amendment. It's not a complicated amendment. It's pretty simple, right? Like there's a formula. You get a warrant, you're good. If you have a warrant, you can do the search as the warrant says, right? You can't add extra to it, but you can, but then the plain view doctrine could kick in, all that sort of shit. But you got to have a warrant signed by a magistrate judge. That's just that simple. If you don't, well, now it's presumed to be unconstitutional, and now you have some narrow exceptions to a warrantless search and seizure. One of those exceptions being exigent circumstances. Did you have exigent circumstances? And no. Not by any objective measure, right? not by any objective measure. They don't even claim that, right? In the March 24th, right? Or March 28, 2024 lawsuit, they just say, oh, well, it's it's what do they say with it? What do they say with it? They say, oh, well, it's not even a search or a seizure, which is just, I mean, that fucking argument's just, all right. It's not even a search or a seizure, eh? Okay. That is truly something. Truly something. Not a search or a seizure. You're walking hundreds of feet into somebody's yard, but that's not a search, right? Well, that's just mind blowing. So you were just there just to hang out? Were you invited? No, doesn't matter. Well, you don't. Well, then they argued they didn't even need consent, but they knocked on the door. Well, why would you knock on the door if you didn't need consent? Right. The first time, right? The first break-in, they knocked first before they went into the backyard. Right. Well, we need to see their policy. What's their policy really say? What's their manual say? Employee manual. What does it say? Bet you it doesn't say. Well, it might actually. I hope it does. But either way, it doesn't matter what the fuck it says. You can't go into my backyard without a warrant. No, you fucking cannot. No, the fuck you cannot. Nope. That is curtilage. That is protected by the Fourth Amendment. Especially protected. The home is especially protected by the Fourth Amendment. I mean, you start going into people's homes and their persons and their papers and artifacts. I mean, it's yeah, you can't get any more invasive and intrusive than that. They would have been held accountable and think twice about telling all their lives. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing, though, man. They don't care because they know most people don't sue, and if they do get sued and they lose, well, it doesn't matter. They don't got to pay for a lawyer. They don't got to pay for nothing. It's. I mean, the system is fucked. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is the system is totally fucked. I mean, completely and unequivocally, totally fucked. I mean, it's. I mean, just think of that, right? You violate somebody's rights. It's presumed that you did it, right? Because again, you don't have a warrant, right? And your own police reports, no mention of any property damage, danger to life, right? Casualties, nothing, right? So again, you're just like, well, how does this work exactly, right? How does this exactly work? Because I don't think it does, right? I don't think it works at all. So I want to know how that works, because that's just mind blowing. Really, it all is, but I've learned that it's not necessary to understand it. I mean, it's not hard to understand, though, right? It's a very simple formula. You can basically violate somebody's rights without worrying about, becoming a criminal, going to jail, right? So you can just violate somebody's rights, and you don't have to worry about going to jail because, the taxpayer is going to pay your legal defense. You got qualified immunity. If for some reason, you lose, right, with all these advantages, right, somehow you still lose, right? The facts of the case are so far not on your side that, so I don't know. I mean, it just, really is remarkable, incredible, insane, really. And so what can you do, right? What can you do? What is a nigga to do?
This is bagel. My point half.
What up, dude? What's up, big dog? They would be held accountable. Yeah, think twice about all their lives. No, I mean, yeah, but I think you underestimate who you're dealing with, Joe. You're not dealing with normal people. You're dealing with people that are really, truly deplorable human beings. Deplorable human beings. The most deplorable human beings. And yeah, man, unfortunately it's I understand, right? Most people can't comprehend that level of vindictiveness, right? Most people can't comprehend murdering somebody, covering it up, and then refusing to release the video of it, right, to the parents that you know, the guy you murdered, right? He calls you for help, you end up murdering him. I mean, you know, you want to talk about just a complete and total, you know, spit in the face to every American, every resident, right? I mean, just totally. I mean, it's the most gruesome and the most embarrassing, egg on your face type of thing you can have for a city, I think, right? A veteran, disabled veteran calls you asking for help, and then you murder the guy. I mean, okay. And then you refuse to release the body cam footage, of course, because, you know, the body cam footage, which they have to release, but they don't want to release it because, you know, they like I said, they want to make you suffer. That's the whole point. The process is the punishment, guys. "90 days in jail, it doesn't mean nothing for you." Right. If they had to do 9 days in jail, they'd be freaking out. 90 days in jail? I mean, really? 90 days in jail, huh? Over 90 days. And then they still wanted probation, guys. Think of that. Over 90 days in jail, and they're like, no, that ain't enough, right? He's already overserved the sentence. That ain't enough. I believe that you were right. Well, thank you for believing in me. I appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that. Sincerely appreciate that. But yeah, we're gonna get this fucking Tupelo tree planted because we got to get it done tonight. Something like that. She's a wild thing, but that's just kind of, you know, how it is sometimes. Let me show you this bad bitch. She's a little wild thing, right? That's Black Tupelo. Swamp Tupelo, baby. That's a bad bitch right there, guys. Big bad bitch. Big bad bitch. No, these are the big bad bitches, though. The triple B's right here, baby. We got 3 of them bitches. Bald cypress. Bada boom, bada bang, baby. But yeah, we gotta get some fucking clothes on. 'Cause I'm kind of cold. It's kind of chilly out here. We gonna get that motherfucker in the ground. All three of them bitches, they're going into the ground. Because we're putting the cypress forest. Bald cypress forest. But I'll talk to you guys later. Later, haters.